And is the audio on?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you put that skimmer back in there, you just want to take and you just want to push it down kind of firm, and it goes into place where the water's about an inch above the. That way, it creates a like a little whirlwind. Takes stuff down. And this is your clock for your cleaners. What it does is it times all your little places around here where it'll clean here, then it'll clean there, and then it'll clean over there, and it'll clean over there. Kind of pushes everything to the center, and then it gets sucked into the filter system. This is your second skimmer over here, and then this is for your float for your pool level.
Okay.
And you can adjust that however you want it. I got it adjusted about where I like it, but if you want it lower, a little higher, you can adjust it there. Whenever you're going to do anything in this pool out here, you always want to go here to the mode. Right now you're on auto pull, so you just want to hit that one time, and it takes you what they call service. That way you can get over here and mess around, and the pool isn't going to come on. Well, these are your that's your pool skim, another pool skimmer. That's your spa skimmer, and then that's for your not your waterfall, but the water feature. And I only check those about every 6 months. This one here, if I've got the spa on for a while, I'll check it. It's usually these two are usually pretty clean. And this one here, you have to every so often clean it. I'll show you how to do it. I get it right there where I know where to put it back on. Put that over. Bring that out. If it's got anything in there, I just kind of, or you can take it over to the hose and clean it out real good if you want to do that. But if you take care of your skimmers, normally there's not a whole lot in there. The pool skimmers that are around the pool. And then just kind of hand tight. That should be the inspector guy where it was leaking. That was this little butterfly valve right here. And it really just wasn't tightened, but what I did is I just took it out, and then I put another gasket in it, and then put it back in there and tightened it up so there's no little drips anymore. What am I trying to say?
For the salt water or something?
Yeah, what this does is it turns the salt water into your chlorine. So you don't really ever have to put chlorine. Maybe when it's real hot in the summertime, you may have to add some tablets just to help it out. But it also has a feature on here where you can go more or you can go less. Right now I've got it on number 2, which is about 40%, but you can go all the way to 60, 80, or 100 if you want to use this. Chlorinator. It's called a chlorinator. You need to do this about every 3 months. You just unconnect it over there. It's just a plug-in underneath there. It comes out real easy. See the holes right there, yeah. Then you just want to unscrew these. And they're hand tight now. You can unscrew them. And there is O-rings there, so just be careful you don't lose the O-rings. And you can take this out, and you can put a little bit of aromatic acid. I always put the acid or the water in first, and then the acid. Remember that, water first, and then the acid. And I usually fill the water up about 3/4, and the rest of it with acid. And I'll let it sit for about 30 minutes. What it does, it cleans out all the crud that's inside there on those plates. If you take care of that, it'll last you 5 or 6 years. I replaced this last year, and it was $1,000. This is the heater, and the main reason that the inspectors couldn't get it on is because I have it on automatic on the mobile thing. We'll show you that in a little bit. But if you can come out once that is on, you can come out here and do it. Or if it's in the spa mode, you can turn it on. So inside here, there's 4 big cartridges. They're probably about, I don't know, I'm gonna say they're like 2.5 feet cartridges, and there's 4 of them that go in there. And about every 3 months, I'll take it apart, make sure it's in, it's in the service. You take it apart, you can take those cartridges out, take it over to your garden hose, clean them out real good, and then probably every 6 months, you just replace them. And I'll show you where you can buy them online that I found was the cheapest place. And then you just go back here, and you're in service, That's timeout, and that timeout will actually go for about, I don't know, about 12 hours, then it'll come back on by itself. But I usually just leave the auto pull mode.
Go to auto.
And I usually just turn that, let the air out. And it usually runs about 29, 30. It hasn't cycled up yet, but it's telling you, like I was telling you a while ago about the less or more, and that tells you right there. And then it tells you how good how good your chlorine is, and pretty soon it's going to go down here and it's going to be on the good. And sometimes it'll go over and say salt low. And when it says salt low, that means you need to take this out and clean it. I'm not sure if it, but it's been doing it since we've been here the whole time. It hasn't caused any pollens, but you'll get, when that water's going in that thing, it'll be like a knocking noise, kind of a knock. Anyway, and it doesn't until that pool gets level, and then it goes away. So don't let that worry you. Before you turn the gas on.
This is your gas valve for your fire pit. One on each pillar, and then just light the bowl with a lighter.
I'm gonna leave you booklets on the pool. Oops, right here. And you can kind of go through here and read about it. It's got your easy touch, how to operate this easy touch for all your settings and your stuff. And right in here, that's where you can get those pool filters, and you can get them online. And they're like half the price of what it costs you if you go to Leslie's Pool Place. This is your test strips. You probably ever so often just want to test it just to make sure that you got enough chlorine and that your pH levels are okay. And the only thing that I found out with this saltwater pool is the hardness is always a little hard. And I've been to the Leslie's Pool. In fact, you can take and get your water sample, take it down there and do it. They'll do a readout for you. And that's what they've always told me. And they said the only way you can really clear that up is in the wintertime, not summertime. In the wintertime, you can take that pool down about half and then refill it with water, with tap water. But when you do that, you need to get a filter so you don't get all the stuff that comes from the tap water. Otherwise, it'll just be hard again. Touch controller, and there is an antenna there, and unless you come out here, it doesn't really reach it. So if you wanted to, you could bring that antenna up a ways. And you could probably do it from inside the house, but I just never do it. But you just turn it on, the middle button there. And right now, there it goes, pulls on. And then if you hit it again, it takes you to your different options. And then you can go down to your different options. And I also have the delay for like when you're in the spa and you've been in there, and then when you turn it off, it has a delay. So the water will run through there and kind of cool it down before it goes all the way off. And then your scheduling, you go into your scheduling, and then there's all your, oops, didn't go to it, did it? There. Nope. Sometimes this thing's a little tricky. Might not be getting a good signal. There we go. And then there's like your spa, and I don't have it set, but you can set it for the spa to come on at a certain time. The pool, I do have it coming on in the summertime 2 different times. You just go down here to the pool, and that tells you on setting 1, I've got it coming on almost every day for like 10 hours. And that keeps it chlorinated. You don't have to worry about it ever going bad. In the wintertime, when it gets a little colder, you can maybe, cut it down to every other day, or cut the hours down. You can cut the hours down to 8 hours if you want to, something like that. The jets, if you want them to come on, or the waterfall to come on. So, and I just normally do it when we're here, so I don't really have them come on. Right now, if you go to them, there's nothing really there. There's no time. It just has that on there. There is other things that it'll do. Oh, one other thing too. If you want to, let me just show him. Get back up here. If you want to go to the spa, you just hit your spa there, and watch it. It'll come up. There's spa. Now, when the spa's on, the cleaners stop. They don't come on. And the same thing with the waterfall. You can't turn the waterfall on when you have the spa on. But then you can just hit your jets. Starts bubbling. And then if you want your water feature, I think that's water feature there, isn't it? I have my glasses on. Heard the heater kick on. There's your water features. And the lights are right here. You hit that, the lights will come on. And there's multiple lights in there. What you do is you got to just 1, 2, like that, hit it 2 times, and then the multiple lights will start instead of just one light. Just got to play with it. Like, see, now it won't go off with that delay. After that delay, then it'll go back to what it's supposed to be. Your outside control for your stereo system, and sometimes, I don't know, maybe just because it's outside, you just got to make sure you press it real firm. And here's the tune, and that's the off. Just make sure the tune's on, and then just press these firms, and it'll come back up. Do tape. You want to play a tape? You can do a tape, and that's through the receiver over there. Well, let me show you something with that receiver. And tapes or Bluetooth or your phone or whatever you want to set it up on, you can. And then to turn it on, this is a button right here that turns it on, and then you get the tuner to go through the stereo, and it should come on here in a second. There. Now it's all through the house, and you can just use those buttons over there to play it louder in the kitchen, or play it louder in the bedroom, or in the office, or outside. That turns on the gas, and then there's a striker there. It might take a minute for it to come up because we don't use it all the time. Okay, this is your outside lights around your trees and plants, and it comes on when it gets dark. It comes on and it stays. You can get in there and right here, you can go whatever you want to. And I think I've got it on for 6 hours, but you can do it 3 hours or 4 hours, whatever you want to do.
And in here, this is the old back door, which is the one by the living room that we never use.
Okay.
These are the locks for that.
Okay.
Okay. And then
In the pantry.
pins and screen door.
It just plugs right in like that, and then put that down. Plug that in right here. To clean it out, you just have to take these loose right here. It pulls down, it has an inside net, you just take it out. It's like a regular vacuum cleaner and go. I usually have my garbage can right here, clean it all out, put it back in, close it back up. And then here's a remote that you can either turn it on out here, or it's set up to where when you plug the vacuum cleaner into the outlets in each room, it comes on automatically.
Nice.
And then you just, on the handle, when we go back in there, I'll show you on the handle, you just turn it on and off. Front yard landscaping, and it's not really it doesn't come on by day and night. You have to actually set it where you want it. You just do it here. You go in there, and you just pull out that timer. It's just a regular timer, and you set whichever you want. Like, when as it's getting darker earlier, you might want it come on earlier.
Yep.
And then you can set it for 4 hours, 6 hours, or all night long, whatever you want.
That's in the garage.
Keep salt in there. And you can put, you can usually put the salt up to about right here, and then your water on this line here, if you want it up that high. It'll regenerate when it's being, if you're using it, but if you're not using it, it doesn't regenerate much.
Okay.
And when it comes on and regenerate, it's in the middle of the night, like about 3 o'clock. And if you're a light sleeper, it'll wake you up.
Your hot water recirculating pump, instant hot water to the faucets. Your basement, that's your other receiver for your surround sound.
It's plugged in. It does have a, in case it did ever overflow, it has an alarm. So